finally, we'll wrap up. Head coach Seb Hines. Seb, second to last game of the regular season. Head up to Gotham, top 4 team. What kind of matchup do you expect against them?
Yeah, I mean, it's two teams who are at the top of the table. Obviously, it's going to be competitive. They've got a lot of good quality players, and so it'll be a good challenge for us to go away from home and hopefully bring back 3 points.
Kind of coming off this past weekend, how's the team feeling? How's the vibe of training been?
It's been good. I mean, obviously it's disappointing that we lost the game against Portland. But yeah, they're ready to go. They're ready to go out and compete in training and ready for this game on Sunday against Gotham.
So you kind of approach these last 2 games of the season. Obviously, you clinch a shield, you clinch first place. You know what you're getting into for playoffs. How do you kind of approach these last 2 games, knowing that there's really nothing for you guys to play for other than you overall playing the game and competing, but knowing that you still have playoffs ahead of you and kind of mitigating everything else that's in between.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because in every other country, you win the league and you're done. Over here, it's a little bit different. And so we have to adapt to that. It's given us an opportunity to have 3 games spare to make sure that we continue to play at a high standard, refining, some elements of our game as well. Painting different pictures, scenarios within this time in live play, and so yeah, and on top of that, you have an international break as well in between. So yeah, it has its challenges. We've obviously got players going away and representing their countries, which is amazing for this club. But yeah, everything's in preparation for the postseason.
As a coach, this is all kind of new for you. How have you kind of approached, not having to, fight for a spot in the playoffs like last year, the year before, and how are you just kind of approaching it?
I've said it from the start, it's game by game, and I know it's like really cliche, and you've heard me say that multiple times. But yeah, like, it's amazing what these players have achieved with games spare, to win the Shield with 3 games left in the most competitive league around the world is an amazing achievement. And so, yeah, obviously we changed some personnel around in the Portland game. There's players who have played significant minutes for us, and the ones who have also gone to the Olympics, and we've asked a lot from them, coming back into our environment and playing straight away. You see around other teams, they might have given those players a rest, but it also shows the hunger and desire for our players to come back into our environment and get their reward for winning the Shield. So we wanted to, reward them for their efforts by almost giving them that game off. And so they feel refreshed going into the next couple of games, and obviously going out to represent their countries as well, and feeling good when they come back into the postseason. But yeah, it's a learning moment for me. Obviously, I haven't got a ton of experience, and so I'm learning, and every week that is coming. And so yeah, like I said, I've just taken it game by game, and making sure everyone's fit and ready for that first postseason game at home.
How much do you kind of lean on your staff in order to help kind of through this process? I mean, Giles has been there as a player, but never really as a coach. Paul's been there, and Hugo's kind of been there in certain ways. But just how are you kind of leaned on each other in terms of just kind of figuring things out as you go along?
Yeah, I think we can rely heavily on our playing experiences. We've all played at a high level. We've all gone through playoff scenarios as players as well, and what's worked, but never as coaches. And so, yeah, this is a little bit different, unknown territory. But yeah, I think we're just embracing it. I think we're obviously enjoying it right now. It's not often that teams have this luxury of having 3 games at the end of the season with it doesn't play any dividends of where you're going to stand in the season. So yeah, we're taking it all in and learning as we go along.
Talking about the international players that progression from the beginning of the season to now, and getting consistent call-ups now for the U.S. After winning, a gold medal with them in the Olympics. How proud are you of her, just in this short amount of time, her consistent growth to now get nationally recognized on a regular basis?
No, it's massive. It's massive for M. It's massive for the club. It's massive for the organisation. To develop a player to get into the national team is amazing. It's something that we take a lot of pride in as coaches. And yeah, her progression's been unbelievable. Even going back to last year to where she's at now. We just hope she gets time on the field this time. It'll be amazing for her, and a big pat on the back for her because she fully deserves that opportunity to go out there and wear the shirt and represent her nation, albeit in a friendly, but it's your first cap, and it'll be an amazing experience for her, and as well for hopefully the rest of the internationals get playing time. Not too much though, because we need them back here. But I think anytime you can represent your country, it's a massive achievement.
Speaking of playing time, we were talking to Viv earlier. She got her first couple minutes back against Houston. We kind of talked to you about it back then, but just seeing her, progression, not just from last year, but from the year before, coming back from injury. She's come back from 3 injuries since she's been here. We've been able to see her come back every time. Just how proud are you of her and her resiliency to be able to continuously, work through those adversities and come back stronger?
I think you said it there. Her resilience is amazing. Having experienced multiple injuries, it's always difficult. You put yourself in a dark place where you don't see the light coming back because it's so far away. But she's persevered with it. She is in a really good place right now. Obviously, we have to manage her time and decision making. And it was just great to see her back onto the field against Houston. It's a massive achievement, and her drive to make sure that she's fit and ready and ready to perform. And we've got a lot of competition in that position, and so it makes my job a little bit difficult because I can put anyone in there, and we know that they're going to perform at their highest. And so, it's like having a new player this year, getting Viv back and in a good place and ready to perform. And a great credit has to go to the medical staff as well, making sure that she's in a great position to perform as well. So, we're excited to have her. And like I said, it's like having a new player at our disposal.